Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite team in the Bay Area. And we have a jam-packed show today. We're going to be covering the Sharks-Canucks game. We're going to be digging into the pros and cons of Thomas Bordeleau signing his ELC. And then we're also going to be kind of doing a little look at how the beginning of the first round, the NHL draft could be shaping up. Plus, a very special announcement on how you could win 2 Sharks tickets to the April 23rd game against the Blackhawks. Everything today's Locked On Sharks. Alexa, play Seek and Destroy. Let's get going.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I'm your host, JD Young. Kyle is off with Australian girlfriend who you've never met. Big show today. We're going to be looking at the Canucks Sharks game, what kind of happened there. But then I think the more important thing is digging into if Thomas Bordeleau, if he's going to sign his ELC. He posted this morning, on Sunday morning, he posted a video on Instagram. Kind of felt like a very much of a goodbye video. But first, today's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with props, odds, and lines than before. BetOnline, where the game starts. So let's talk about the Sharks game on Saturday night. A very chippy affair between two teams that was poorly reffed, and the Sharks continue to show their just lack of depth, basically beyond the hurdle, Timo Myers, et cetera, et cetera. So, I talked about it on YouTube. I did a Saturday night little kind of recap after it, and I think the biggest thing for me was just the Ryan Merkley thing. Like, clearly not a good hit. He takes a shoulder to the head. He thought it wasn't dirty. Of course, he's going to say that. He struggled to get off the ice. He woozy as he's walking down the hall into the dressing room, and 15 minutes later he's back on the ice playing as if nothing happened. And again, if he passed all the concussion stuff, the concussion protocol stuff, good for him. I'd be worried about putting a guy right back out there, especially after a massive hit like that, and sometimes concussions can take time to show up. So, the symptoms may not show up right away. So, especially in a game where you were dressing 7 defensemen, you already had a defenseman who could just slide in there, and then you were rotating with your forwards anyway throughout the game. It felt bad, I guess is one word to say. It didn't feel right to see him right back out there like that. And I mean, you guys know I'm rooting for Ryan Merkley. I think he's has a chance to be a very, very special player, but it just was really weird to me to see Ryan Merkley right back out there after a massive hit. So kind of some of my other takeaways. Dahlén is I'm a little worried about Dahlén's future with the Sharks. He played 6 minutes and 10 seconds on Saturday night, and that's just been a consistent thing with him, especially after his injury and with COVID. Dealt with COVID, the shoulder injury, and then he took a puck to the face a couple weeks ago, and he just, ever since that shoulder injury, he just hasn't been the same guy. So I'm trying to hope that maybe going into next year, if he wants to continue his career with the Sharks, that he can kind of get back to it once he gets healthy. But again, I'm a little worried that he may just at some point be like, you know what? Do I want to play 7 minutes a night in the NHL on the bottom line, or do I want to go back to Sweden, play in the SHL with Timra and go be awesome and score a bunch of goals and stuff like that? So again, that's just me speculating, but he hasn't really, after the first like 2 months of the season, his season has definitely gone downhill and he hasn't been the same player. And, there's an argument about, he needs to earn his minutes, but then there's also the argument about like, why not try to kind of help boost his confidence to let him play more than a period with some of the top guys? Cause he is a scorer and that's what he does well. And, but some other big takeaways, is it continues to be the Timo Meier, Tomas Hertl show. It was interesting that they did split up Hertl and Meier and put Hertl with Couture going in this game. Bob Bugner said he wanted try to even things out, especially not having the last change. I mean, the Couture line looked better, with Sasha, Couture, and Meier. Couture got the crap kicked out of him all night and so many uncalled penalties on Couture, but, it was okay. I mean, looking at, the Sharks forward lines, so the Couture, the Sasha Couture Meier line plays 6-15 of 5-on-5 together. Corsi 4 was pretty good, 68.75. They had 11 shot attempts compared to 5 shot attempts allowed. Actual shots on goal 6-2. So not too bad there. The Bear Benov Hertl Balcers line just got wrecked. They played 8:36 together. 2 Corsi 4, 12 allowed. So they 2 shots attempts 4 to 12 allowed. Actual shots on goal 1-6, which is just something you don't see, especially from a Hertl line. And that was a little tough to see. The next line with the most time on ice together was the Nieto Benino Gregor line. 5-10 together, 6 shots for shot attempts 4, 8 shots attempts allowed. Shots on goal was 4-4, and then that one it was they scored a goal, but they also let up 2 goals as well at 5-on-5. So, and then the other lines, they kind of mix and match lines because of injury or because they were also playing down forward and stuff like that. So none of the other lines really kind of logged enough ice time to have a real sample size. Except for the Gregor Reedy Dahlén line in 1:16 time on ice together, 3 shot attempts compared to 0, and so it's basically a shift where they just dominated. So it was, again, I think this is the big takeaway from that game was the Sharks continue. Basically, it's if Hertl and Meier and if those guys aren't producing, the Sharks just continue to not be able to produce on an efficient level. The Ryan Merkley play was a bad hit, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fine or something like that comes out at some point. So, but yeah, I think we've seen enough Sharks games at this point. This season, we know kind of what they are. So, we're going to take a break here really quick. But before, and when we get back, we're going to talk about the pros and cons if Bordeleau actually signs his ELC now, and kind of what, kind of going through the case of why he should and maybe why he should go back for a year at Michigan. But before that, we're going to take a quick break and talk to you guys about Athletic Greens. So Athletic Greens are a great product that I use every day. I started taking AG1 because I'm getting older. Sometimes your immune system isn't as great. I want better gut health, and I don't want to take like 1,000 pills and vitamins. And I wanted something that actually tasted good, and that's where Athletic Greens. I've been taking it for about a month now, every day. It tastes really good. It's kind of has like a nice little mild chocolatey taste, which is not too bad. And what's in it? You have basically it's just like a cup of water. You put in a scoop of the AG1, and you're absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and helps you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. Something I have to worry about now. All those things. So go check them out. The price, it's not too bad because, it's less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew coffee habit. It's cheaper than getting all the different supplements yourself, and you're investing in all-in-one nutritional insurance. Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews. They're recommended by professional athletes. I think Matt Nieto uses it. And trusted by leading health experts such as Tim Ferriss and Michael Gervais. So if you want to try Athletic Greens, head over to athleticgreens.com/NHL Network. And right now they're giving you a free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you got to do, again, head over to athleticgreens.com/NHL Network. Again, athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. All right, so Sharks fans, we are kind of all waiting right now. It is Sunday morning at like 11:40 as I'm recording this. I have ribs on the grill. It's going to be a good day. But Thomas Bordeleau posted on Instagram what felt very much like a kind of a goodbye Michigan video. So right now we're kind of waiting to see if Bordeleau actually signs his ELC. So I think it's a good time to look at kind of the pros and cons of why he should go back to Michigan or why he should sign his contract and become a San Jose Shark. Again, with Sharks, with college players, once you sign your ELC, you can't go back to college, right? So that's kind of the big thing. You've seen a lot of the Michigan guys already signing theirs, like Owen Power signed his. I think we're waiting for Matty Beniers to sign his. Kent Johnson signed his. He's going to be playing with Columbus right now. You're seeing a lot of these guys signing their ELCs right now. The big question, you get a lot of people asking, well, if he signs his contract right now, can he play 9 games and it not count towards the first year? No. We know with William Ekman, he played his 9 games, didn't burn his first year of his ELC, and we'll still have 3 years to go. The slide rule, as they call it, it only counts for when you sign your ELC before you turn 20. So Ekman was 18 when he signed his. Again, Bordeleau, you can't, when you're a college athlete, you can't sign your contract because then you're no longer a paid you're no longer a student athlete, you're a paid athlete. I'm just a side note, I wonder if this will be something that gets looked at, especially with the new college NIL rules. If eventually down the road this might be something that changes, where you will be able to sign your entry level contract, but still keep your eligibility to play in the NCAA. But that's for a different discussion. So, but Bordeleau, since he is 20 right now, he turns 21 in January. If he signed it right now, it would count towards this year. The Sharks have 10 or 11 games left. He would be, waivers eligible. He could still go up and down. So if you wanted to put on the Barracuda, if they wanted to kind of ease him in like that, but it would burn a year off his contract. So let's start by looking at kind of the case for why he should go back to Michigan for a year. He had a solid year at Michigan, but I don't think he kind of had that year that maybe he or a lot of us expected. So we'll dig into Bordeleau, and all the prospects a little bit more, but just he's 37 games. He had 37 points, 12 goals and 25 assists during that time. Played really well in the Frozen Four. And I think, he was definitely a second banana on that team, especially when you have Matty Beniers, who was, a top 5 pick. You have Kent Johnson, who's a top 5 pick. Owen Power, who's a number 1 pick. You have Luke Hughes is coming in, who was a top 5 pick and, an outstanding freshman. So, this Michigan is a very, very talented team. And, he, as much as we like Bordeleau, he still was a second round pick. Like, these guys are just kind of more highly developed, highly touted prospects. And, so I think kind of that second banana role for him, where he's not playing top line minutes, he's not getting kind of first crack at everything. And so I don't think he had the year that he expected. Did deal with some injuries kind of middle of the year. But then, when a lot of those top guys did go to China for the Olympics, he definitely played better during that time. And he talked about like where it kind of gave him that like, I can be the guy thing. So you wonder if he might think about going back to Michigan and being the guy next year. I mean, I know they do have a lot of talented guys coming in. They're losing a lot of guys, but they do have a lot of talented guys coming in. You know, like Frank Nazar's coming in. They do have a pretty awesome kind of class coming in. But still, he would be like the guy, right? Because he would, like he would still have, these other guys. I mean, Luke Hughes will still be there next year and stuff like that. But like, they have a massive crop of guys coming in who are going to, so they have like Rutger McGrody, who's going to be probably a top 10, top 15 pick coming in. They've got, so Nick Blake, they've got Frank Nazar, who's going to be coming in. They've got a bunch of guys who are going to be coming in to this team who are very talented players. I think they have one of the guys from like the 2023 draft class. I'm blanking on his name right now. He's probably going to be a top 5 pick in that class. A lot of time, but you're still going to be like, you're going to be a junior. He'll be a junior. He'll be like the guy. And, if you really want to kind of, go for his stats and kind of, he'll be first line center and stuff like that. And, in another year at Michigan, it's not gonna kill him, and to go in and kind of maybe help build that confidence and what was a solid year, but maybe just not the year that he expected. So, but if he doesn't want to go back to Michigan, again, you're got really close to winning a national championship this year. You didn't do it, and like I said, you're leaving a lot. The Wolverines are losing a lot of talented players. There's also some other issues too. Their head coach, he's not actually under contract. So Mel Pearson, his contract actually expires, and they haven't given him extension. So maybe you don't like the new coach, or you don't want to play for a new coach. That's you were recruited by Mel Pearson to come play for you. And Michigan does have some pending kind of investigation stuff. So they are under investigation for COVID issues from the 2020 season, where maybe they weren't following all the regulations for COVID. So there could be a potential where they might get some sanctions, and who knows, I'm just speculating here, but maybe they're not eligible to play in the postseason or something like that. We see this all the time. What happens, especially in like NCAA football and basketball and stuff, where they break some regulations and then they're not eligible to play. And if you're trying to win a title and your team literally can't play in the playoffs, why go back? So, again, with Bordeleau, I think he does sign, but I think they wait till after this season. I think especially with the Sharks, where they're trying to kind of pinch pennies right now, but with their contracts. And we saw with Eklund where, one of the big reasons is, not only they didn't think he was quote unquote ready, but they wanted to kind of push that contract back a year. So then that gives you, another year of Bordeleau being cheap. So, I think he'll sign. I think he'll have a shot to make the Sharks out of the training camp next season. But we shall see. That we have plenty of this summer to talk about Bordeleau and stuff. So, but yeah, that's the Bordeleau case. I think he signs this summer. I don't think he signs right now, but I could be wrong. By the time you hear this, that he could have signed a contract to be on his way to San Jose right now to play some games. But so we'll see. Let's take a break here, but when we get back, we will kind of look at what kind of players might be available for the Sharks around the 10th spot, as they're currently picking right now, and plus how you can win 2 free tickets to a Sharks game on April 23rd. So, but before we do that, we got to talk about our friends over at BetOnline. You guys know that BetOnline, your number one source for all your betting stats and sports info. They have all the latest sports developments, league reviews, news, including this year's basketball playoffs, which are starting really soon, and then Major League Baseball, which is underway. BetOnline's your continued source for all your sports wagering information, from live betting, the playoffs, esports, and more. So head to their website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. And once you're done gambling, you might need a little snack. That's where our friends over at Built Bar come in. They have, you guys know, all their bars, 100% real chocolate. They're the best tasting protein bars on the market. Instead of grabbing a candy bar that has, 200 to 300 calories, that's where you reach for a Built Bar. Most of them contain 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. So, and they have amazing flavors like mint brownie, coconut almond, and some new ones like white chocolate cookies and cream. All delicious. New flavors coming out all the time. If bars don't sound that great, that's where you need to try their puffs. The first ever protein infused marshmallow. They're fluffy. They're marshmallow. They're not just a protein bar. They're a treat. They're covered in 100% real chocolate as well. And they come in amazing flavors like cinnamon churro, coconut marshmallow, and banana cream pies. All of these flavors going to be your favorites. So go over to built.com, use the promo code LOCK15 to get 15% off your order. Again, use the promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at built.com. All right, so especially if you're watching on the YouTube, what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of do a nice little our friend over at FC Hockey. They have a very fun kind of draft simulator. So I'll run through a couple of these a couple times just to see how it goes. So I'll be picking as the Sharks, of course. We'll do the first round since we just want to kind of see what players might be available for the Sharks there. So this is just kind of assumed. I guess the Sharks are 11th right now on their. So right now, so Shane Wright goes first. Matt Savoy to the Canadiens. Logan Cooley to the Kraken. Slavkovsky to the Sens. Simon Nemec to the Flyers. Yurov to the Devils, Jurček to the Sabres, Frank Nazar to the at number 9 to the Red Wings, and then Brad Lambert goes number 10 to the Ducks. So, kind of guys who are available right now. Korchnuk, McGrody, we haven't covered yet. We haven't covered these two guys yet. Cutter Gother, Connor Geeky, Gleb Chikazov. Lekermaki, kind of some of these guys that we've kind of covered and started covering and stuff like that. So, if the Sharks wanted to, this is where we talk about like, yeah, who cares if you're missing out, if it's 10 or 11, like right there, Brad Lambert was available at number 10. So let's restart it and see what happens again. So again, anything on the Sharks. One round. So again, Shane Wright, number 1 to the Coyotes. Simon Nemec to the Canadiens. Cooley, Slavkovsky to the Sens. Savoy to the Flyers. Yurov to the Devils. Kemmel to Columbus. Brad Lambert goes to the Sabres. Korchnuk goes to the Red Wings, and Jurček goes to the Ducks. So now you have Frank Nazar, who we've covered, McGrody, Cathor, Geeky, Gleb, Lekermaki kind of next. I'd probably go Frank Nazar here in this situation. I think I really like kind of his upside, and I think him and Eklund would be a really nice pair. So, all right, let's do another one here. So again, let's see where kind of people lay out. So we'll do, so Shane Wright at number 1, of course, Savoy to the Canadiens, Slavkovsky to the Kraken, Cooley to the Sens, Nemec to the Flyers, Yurov to the Devils, who I think feels for some reason that's going to happen. Frank Nazar goes number 7 to Blue Jackets. Jurk goes to the Sabres. Karinsky goes to the Red Wings. Kemmel goes to the Ducks. And on the board right now, Brad Lambert, Rutger McGrody, Cutter Gother, Connor Geeky, Gleb Chikazov, and Lekermaki, et cetera, et cetera. So Brad Lambert did fall to the Sharks at this stage right now. So let's do one more and kind of just see. So this, again, we're just trying to see like how this could shake out and why, as dumb as it sounds, like being potentially 9th instead of 11th could help the Sharks just more options of potential guys who might be able to help, them out. So Shane Wright to the Coyotes, Nemec to the Habs, Savoy to the Kraken, Slavkovsky to the Sens, Cooley to the Flyers, you're off to the Devils, Frank Nazar to the Blue Jackets, Urick to the Sabres, Kemmel to the Red Wings, and Lambert goes again to the Ducks. So that leaves Krasinski, McGrody, Gothard, Geeky, Gleb, Leckermacki. So just again, wanted to kind of see who might be available for the Sharks if they decided to, if they kind of where they're picking right now. So I'm sure we'll do more of these as we get kind of closer to the season and we get an actual draft position for the Sharks. So, but the moment you guys are all waiting for, how you could win 2 tickets, courtesy of our friend Liz from San Jose Hockey Now. She's been on here before. Anyway, so Liz is donating 2 tickets to the Sharks Blackhawks game on April 23rd. They're section 121. They're pretty sweet seats, row 6. So she gave us 2 tickets. So all you have to do, you need to subscribe to us on YouTube. Okay. Follow the podcast on Twitter. You can follow me as well. But on Saturday night, after the Sharks game, I will be doing a live stream. And I will be giving away 2 tickets to someone who in the show in there. So what will happen? Yeah, at the end of the live stream, I'll give away 2 tickets for that. And then if we hit 700 subscribers, I will also be giving away a free year subscription to San Jose Hockey Now. So again, all you have to do, just subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're really close to 700 subscribers. We're trying to make it to 1,000. And then just hang out with me Saturday night after the Sharks game. And you could be going to the Sharks game on April 23rd. And I think I'm going to be actually attending that game as well. So I might even come and say hi to you as we can work out a way to meet up and say hi and actually meet. So yeah, so make sure you guys subscribe there. And I'll see you on Saturday night where you could win tickets, Sharks Blackhawks game as well. Maybe Bordeleau might be playing. Who knows? We'll see. So you can also, of course, find the podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Locked On Sharks, where I'm manning those. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get podcasts, we are there. You can find me on Twitter at MyFryHole. Kyle is at Kyle Demetrius. Of course, we are on YouTube. Go subscribe there. And thank you for making us your first listen. Go check out the Locked On NHL Now, where you get a nice little taste of what happened the night before across the NHL. Go check out the Locked On Fantasy Hockey podcast. They have fun bets that they do every day. So if you want to go make some money on the NHL, those guys really know what they're doing. So go check them out. Or go check out any of the other amazing podcasts on the NHL Network, such as let's get Locked On San Francisco Giants. Let's go Giants. Bye, friends.